Okay, so what I'm going to show you today is the different types of retrieves. Sonnet is a trained Gundog, so she's going to show you easily the retrieves, but we want to explain the difference in the retrieves. So the first one we're going to show you is a basic scene retrieve. That would be me throwing the dummy and my dog retrieving it back to me. This is where we start. We're not going to throw them very far for the purpose of the videos. Obviously, once you get somebody throwing the dummies for you, or you're doing the different types of retrieves, you can go further and further with the distance. So I have my dog sat up next to me. Hey, come here. Sit. Stay. I'm going to throw the dummy. I'm returning to my dog. Because she's seen it, I'm just going to send her. Sonnet back. Dead. Side. Side. Sit. So that's a basic scene retrieve. Come here. Sit. The next one we move on to is when somebody else throws the dummy for you. So there you can go a bit further and you can take the distances further and further. When you start this with your dog, sometimes you find that they don't know to look out at the person sending. So don't be put off if the dog doesn't run out far enough, just bring the distance closer. But very quickly the dog will soon learn to look at the person with the dummy who's throwing the dummy, and they will look out and in front of you rather than looking at me to see where the dummies come from. So I'll pass the dummy to Abby and she's going to throw it and we'll show you the next step. Again, I'm not going to use my hand, I'm just going to use my voice to send her. Bringing it back to me and delivering it, and then I give her the release command. Dead. Side. Sit. A little bit bouncy, a little bit excited this morning. Sit. But when she gives me the dummy back, I then want her to put herself back in the position to retrieve the next dummy. Okay, so the next step after we've done the scene retrieve would be a memory retrieve. So what I do is I walk out with my dog. If your dog doesn't walk to heel, you would have it on the lead. You walk out with your dog, you sit your dog, you throw the dummy, you turn your dog away, come back to your space, and then you send the dog. Because the dog has taken its eye off the dummy, you actually send your dog using your arm. Your arm is a directional tool. Yeah, sit. It doesn't move. The arm isn't sending the dog, the voice sends the dog, the arm sends it in the right direction. So I will be doing, when my dummy's out, sending her, sending her in the line of my arm. That's the direction she's going to run, and I will use the command, Sonnet back. Just cover her ears up there, because otherwise she'll probably think I'm sending her. Don't want her to fail. So we'll show you this retrieve and how it's done. Come here now. Sit. I always start with some control. Some control. Heel. So we're going to walk out. Won't go far because you'll get the gist of what I'm doing. I'm going to sit the dog on my sit whistle. I carry on walking. My dog, ready to send, and then I send my dog. Sonnet back. Clear command, concise command, out she goes. Sonnet. Doing it right. Release command, dead. Side. Side. Sit. Girl. And that's a memory retrieve.
What we're going to show you now is a mark and replace retrieve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a dummy out from here. You can see Ali and Sonnet are waiting back up the track. So I'm going to throw the dummy for Sonnet to see it. Ali's going to send her. You'll notice because it's one of the scene retrieves, like earlier on, she's not going to line her out with a hand or anything like that. She's just going to give her command when she wants the dog to go. The dog's not going to go until Ali sends her. And then I'm going to wait until Sonnet has picked up the dummy and it is a decent distance away. And then I'm going to place another one down that she won't have seen. So then Ali will have to resend her for a dummy that she hasn't seen yet. So we'll start with the marked retrieve. So I'm just going to throw it up in the air. The little noise I make is just to bring it to her attention, make sure she's looking in the right direction. And when Ali's ready, she'll send. Sonnet's going to pick the dummy, turn it to Ali when she's got her back to me. I'm just going to drop another one that she hasn't seen or heard. I'm just going to back away from it slightly. So then Ali gets her present, release command, and puts the dog back to her side, ready to do the release. So she'll line out this time and send. And Sonnet's going to run, and she's patterned the exercise from before. So you can see she's picking the dummy and taking the dummy back to Ali. So that is your mark and then replace. So this is building up to when you would then do a blind retrieve that the dog hasn't seen. But for now, we want to pattern the exercise so the dog's running back to the same spot that it's already been to. So the dog runs out confidently, even though they haven't seen the blind retrieve that's been put down for them. Again, you can see how Ali lined up for it because the dog hadn't seen. So she's making it clear to the dog what direction that it's going to go in. And then she sends the dog when she's ready. So that is a mark and replace retrieve.